This is SportsCenter Live.
Last play of the game. Snap, Tanner. Back pedal. Sprint out to the right.
Mangum, all kinds of time.
Loads up, launches it.
Steps into the throw, in the wind.
Ball's in the air, it drops.
Down to the goal line, and caught!
I think he caught it for a touchdown! He got it! He got it! He got it!
Touchdown, BYU!
Touchdown, Nick Matthews! The Cougars win it! The Cougars win it!
They win it! Good Sunday morning, everyone, and welcome to a live new edition of SportsCenter alongside Randy Scott. I'm Carrie Champion. Collegiate football, my friend. It never disappoints.
We're going to have baseball. We'll talk
Yes.
NFL. Our voices might crack like that guy's did. But Carrie is right. We're going to start with college football because the first Saturday of the season delivered. And you know what? So did BYU. A game Nebraska paid the Cougars $1 million to come play in Lincoln. Mike Riley, first game. No first-year head coach has lost his opener since 1957. Huskers haven't lost since 1985. Look at Taysom Hill, back after a season-ending injury a year ago. And he actually hurt his foot. He fractured his foot earlier in the game, came back in for that play and had to leave. He's now done for the season. Enter Tanner Mangum, fresh off a 2-year LDS mission. He's got a chance to be a hero, down one.
Got time, loads up, launches it, goes for the end zone. The ball's in the air, it drops at the goal line. I think he caught it for a touchdown. He got it! He got it! He got it! Touchdown, Nick Matthews! The Cougars win it!
That's how it sounded. Meanwhile, back in Idaho, it's Idaho State and Black Hills State. The receiver making that crazy Odell Beckham Jr.-esque catch is Madison Mangum, Tanner's brother. Madison's a senior, making a senior-level play there, so both brothers making big plays. We go back to the Hail Mary. From Mangum to Mitch Matthews, top of your screen. Look at the route he runs, like a family circus cartoon. But he gets there in triple coverage, comes down with it. He said sometimes you have to do what you have to do, catch the rock and win the game. Coach Bronco Mendenhall fired up in the locker room as BYU wins by 5. But here is an emotional Mendenhall talking about the loss of Taysom Hill.
I expect us to stand behind Taysom and make sure that he's at the heart of everything we're doing. There we go. And this victory doesn't happen without him as well, from a leadership perspective, from an ability perspective, and how he played today. So completely my fault. There'll be 3, and there's no one I respect more that I've ever coached. And or just as a person. So we'll do what we can to help.
We got your back, T.
It was that kind of Saturday in college football. Those comments coming after that celebration as Coach Mendenhall got after it in the Cougars locker room after that Hail Mary win in Lincoln. But the party didn't stop there. There were cameras rolling on board the team's flight home as they watched SportsCenter's top 10 plays last night.
Twitter, Dan, it's Birds are chirping. Things are starting to come into bloom. There you go, Harvey. It is also the kickoff for our X's and O's, unnamed X's and O's.
That was our Liberty Mutual Spotlight to welcome in our college football brain trust. We've got Mark May with us. Brain trust, right?
Yeah, no pressure.
Right?
Yeah,
Does the table seem a little slanted like this way because of the beefs on this side of the table?
I was going to say in terms of knowledge and insight.
Exactly.
Yes,
I was
I was going to say, we're going to turn around and run a power, and you guys can score.
Okay, we got it.
We'll make it look good. Mark, your reaction. You see a Hail Mary in week 1 for BYU, but they also lose Taysom Hill. Digest all of that for us.
I thought it was outstanding the first weekend of college football to have that type of excitement for the game to come down to the end of the game. I felt sorry for Nebraska and Mike Riley in his opener for Nebraska at home and the way that they lost the game. But for BYU, you've got to be excited when your backup quarterback comes in and he plays like that, throws the ball up at the last play of the game. I thought Nebraska overcoached their kids, calling 2 timeouts, Trev, in the last couple of seconds. They're leaving 1 second on the clock. Don't give Brigham Young a chance to coach their players on the sidelines to get everything set up. Not once, but twice in the last 15 or 20 seconds, they called timeouts. They gave BYU an opportunity to set up that play with 1 second left on the clock.
Looks like BYU has the beginnings of quarterback U coming back. You know, back in the day with McMahon and those guys, because
What school did you go to again?
Oh, BYU, just in case, yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, and we won't mention that Pitt game back in '84. I'm sorry. Taysom Hill, though, fantastic talent, electrifying talent, injured again, out for the season, which is a terrible thing. Great kid. But then Tanner Mangum comes in, fresh off a mission from Chile, who was co-MVP of the Elite 11 quarterback camp with Jameis Winston before he left on his mission. And so this is really his first game back. And so he is another guy that's got a great arm, and it looks like as he learns the offense, he'll be able to step in and perform very well.
All right, so listen, Trevor, you mentioned Taysom Hill out for the season, missed 2012, 2014, cut short as a result of knee injuries. Yesterday, again, a foot, he's done for the entire season. How hard was it for you just to watch that happen?
Having been able to speak with Taysom and knowing people that know him really well, it's heartbreaking. Because he is as good a young man as you could ever hope. I mean, he's married. He is a solid guy who battled back from that injury the way that you would want your son to battle back from that injury. And so it's not just a matter of they were happy that they had the production of Taysom back on the field. He was such an inspiration to everybody in that room in a way that you could only be if you suffer through great trials in the football sense. And so to lose him, they lose his production, but that inspiration will remain for them.
That level of commitment to that ball club. He's 25 years old, as you say. It's a little bit of a different football player at that position at that school.
And you feel bad as a former athlete and former football players because we've had injuries to battle back like that. And here's a young man that's still in college, went through the injury process last year. If you look at the first 5 games, he had 15 touchdowns. So you look at the production that he had last year to battle back and to come back this year, then to get injured in the opener like this, you have to feel bad for him. Here's a young man that's a leader of this football team. Terrific athlete, can get things done, not only through the air but on the ground. When you watch him play, he's electrifying. He was on a lot of people's short list for the Heisman this year if he could have stayed healthy.
And you know what, as offensive linemen, the thing is every time our quarterback's on the ground, it doesn't matter why, it breaks our heart. Because we want to help him. We want to go hit somebody and protect our guy. And all of a sudden now he's hurt. And whether it's our fault or not, it's a helpless feeling for big guys like us.
Trevor, Matich, Mark Matich getting started. Guys, stick around.
Much more from those guys coming up.
The Spotlight.